Jennifer, I am so proud of you. What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeekMixer here to give you guys my review on this week's episode of Black Lightning. And this is no ordinary episode, guys. Oh no, this episode is a tie-in to the Crisis on Infinite Earth crossover. And man, guys, what a way to introduce Black Lightning into the Arrowverse for that matter. And if you guys haven't seen my review on Crisis on Infinite Earth yet, I did a review of parts 1 through 3 all in one video, and I'll leave a link in the description down below. But for now, let's talk about the episode. Because, man, Jennifer, for all this time since season 1 when you learned of your powers and everything you went through in season 2 and then in season 3, I kept saying to myself, I am praying for this girl's soul that she eventually sees what I know that we all know, and that everything she says and everything she wants to do is not that simple. And man, did she ever finally figure it out. It's funny though how the best way you can figure it out is by talking to different versions of yourself, because that's exactly what happened. You see, she was just doing her normal thing. She then made a video that she was at first going to send to Anissa, letting her know that she understands Dad's philosophy in her heart and believes that it's right and has a good point. But she also believes in her head what Odell is doing is necessary. And she's not necessarily wrong, but the level that Odell is going towards is just way beyond out of control. Which is why you could understand why Black Lightning joined the Resistance and everything. And speaking of the Resistance, well, they tried to get that video out to the people so they could get help. Unfortunately though, the ASA was able to intercept it and only get it to where people who are being persecuted by ASA and not having metahuman powers get to only call a number to help them, and that's not helping at all. But I think things only get worse, guys, because Anissa is getting very, very frustrated with everything, that she's about to pretty much go down that, she's pretty much getting to that point of going down that path of crossing that line that her father never wants her to cross. Now, I'll agree that yes, that since they're trying to get ASA off their hands, they're going to have to resort to some tactics that aren't exactly in Black Lightning's favor, for mind you, but I won't deny that some of what the Resistance have been doing haven't been that bad compared to what Black Lightning's making it out to be. Because trust me, from things I saw in the MCU and other things that Batman has done, that's way worse than what the Resistance is doing. But what I also was laughing about here was how later on during the episode, when the crisis of the antimatter wave turning the skies red and everything in their world, Anissa was actually thinking that it's the ASA who was doing that. Man, when she was thinking that, all I was just doing was laughing and saying to myself, Anissa, if you only knew what was really causing this, you knew it was actually the antimatter, then girl, you were gonna wish it was the ASA who was behind all this. And that's no lie right there. I'm sure even y'all can agree with me on that. Some of y'all had to be thinking that. But not only that, but Agent Odell, he was pretty much paying no mind to what the Sky thing was doing. Mostly because maybe he was probably thinking the Markovians were doing it. Or for that matter, if he didn't think the Markovians were doing it, he was just paying it no mind. And I'm just like saying to myself, Odell, you jack. Yeah, basically, you know what I'm trying to say about that guy. Because, yeah, you guys already know I don't like that guy. But either way, when that was happening, did the Resistance try to do stuff? Yeah, but we didn't get to see it because this episode is all about Jennifer. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. So as soon as the antimatter wave was starting to approach not Freeland, but, well, let's just say Freeland, even though it's the entire Earth, that it had an effect on Jen's powers, because as y'all know, she's not like her father. Sure, she has electric-based powers, but she's not a battery. She's actually made of pure energy, and because of the antimatter wave, it's interacting with her cellular structures and making her phase in and out of existence. And man, was that crazy. it then put her in a phase to where she met parallel Earths of herself, one from Earth 1 and one from Earth 2. Yes, and then as y'all know with parallel Earths, it's where there's a version of us that exists out there, and we do something from this Earth, but we do the opposite or another opposite compared to what we do on the Earth we are on. And that's exactly who Jen met. Two Jennifers who both did a decision that Jennifer has been trying to make up herself and been wanting from the very beginning ever since she learned of her powers. On Earth 1, the Jennifer there wanted her powers gone, but she also felt that with the ASA problem that's going on Earth 1, that she should try to extinguish all the metahuman powers. And she did, but unfortunately that pissed Odell off that he put her in the pit. And what's more, in that Earth, Anissa hasn't told her father that she's gay yet. And also on that Earth, like I said, nobody has metahuman powers, but Black Lightning doesn't like what the ASA is doing. That in that Earth, he is the one who's helping the pastor, Reverend Holt, out and getting people out of freedom and out of the perimeter, thanks to the underground place, just like Anissa's been doing on her Earth with the Reverend. But unfortunately, it got bad when Agent Odell found out, and he killed Black Lightning, or in this case, plain old Jefferson Pierce. Oh my God. But what's more interesting about it is that there was a positiveness in all this, like I said, in Jennifer meeting these other versions of herself, because it allowed her to see in their Earth and what happened to their family. And yeah, after Earth 1's Jen father died, well, things just went downhill from there. Like, she would regret the choice she made and given her powers up, but also she didn't have a great relationship with her mom, who, as y'all know, with Lynn, yeah, she doesn't like that her family's all metahumans and stuff, but she did still love Jefferson. They just couldn't find a way to work around it, which is why the Jen of that Earth actually thought it was the right idea for Jen to lose her powers along with her entire family. Well, mostly because that way she could have a regular family. Well, this actually can make me go real ahead and talk about the Jen we all know. So, yeah, as y'all know, she doesn't have her green light anymore, and she's trying to get it back, but she's having a hard time. And as you all see, that addict stuff is really getting to her, that she confronted Jeff and was blaming him for everything that is happening with the ASA and all that. And hey, I've already talked about how I feel about her, so I'm not going to say anything else, but only hope and pray that she realizes how ridiculous she's being. I know she doesn't like that her family's metahumans and stuff, but you made the choice to marry him, and you made the choice to divorce him, but you keep making the choice to be with him. There's the way I see it, Lynn, you need to make a choice, because here's the thing. And nothing around here normal, or nothing around here ever going to be normal, and you need to find a way to work with it. But as for like the other Jen all dressed in black, looking like she's just bad news. Oh, she is bad news, because on Earth 2, which for a minute, there's a little continuity error if they're trying to tie it into the Arrowverse. If this Jen's from Earth 2, that Earth should have already been destroyed a long time ago, just like it showed in the first episode of Arrow. But that aside, I just want to throw that out there. And this Earth, this Jen has done exactly everything that Agent Odell has told her. She just killed innocent, all sorts of people, no matter if they were innocent or prison or just being experimented on. She just massacred them. And this Jen was a complete weapon of Odell's, which is something I have been afraid for the real Jen we know, the Jen we know, to be doing here. Because Black Lightning's Jennifer Lightning, yeah, the more she kept spending time with Odell, I was scared that she might become what that Jen is. But luckily, with her also seeing her Earth and what she did, not only did she kill those innocent people that Agent Odell ordered, but she actually, and then she didn't even, and it wasn't orders on Odell, it was of her own free will, kills her family. Yes, guys. And that right there, that along with seeing Earth 1's Jennifer, made Jennifer finally realize that all these things she's been thinking about has been doing nothing but making her see how naive she was being. Now, I'm not saying that to insult her, because she's just a teenager. Teenagers are learning as they grow. But by finally seeing the lives of those two, that she finally realized that, for one, having powers is not a burden or a bad thing, because it's not, you're right, it's not normal. But here's the thing. Life, there's nothing normal around here anymore. I live, because let's face it, we live in a world where everyone is all sorts of different. There is nothing normal out there. Nobody is ever going to be normal. They're just going to live their life, and pretty much, if you want to call that normal, go ahead. But to others, it's going to be weird. And in my opinion, that's a compliment, because yeah, life's weird for me. And then there's Earth 2 Jennifer, where she realized that her breaking that code that her father taught her would only do nothing but make her a heartless person who's just power hungry, cares about power, and cares about doing what needs to be done, even if it means being a murderer and a massacre, thinking that everything will be fine. And here's the parallel of it. Both of those two Earths were doing it because they thought they would finally go back to normal. Things would go back to normal. But yep, nope, not gonna happen. And yeah, what she says about her father's code, about some lines you don't cross, yeah, she's right. It is flawed. Just like Batman's is flawed with no kill. But we all, like I've said before, we all know why Batman won't do it, because he already knows what'll happen to him. And pretty much, Jefferson, I'm betting that's why Jefferson won't do some of those things either. He feels like he'll lose some part of himself, some part he's afraid to lose. But even still, flawed it may be, but everybody else's philosophies and codes have flaws too. This is where you've just got to learn to find your way in life if you're going to be a hero, which is kind of how it is with other people. And yeah, I'm not saying that that's the way to go or the other way's the way to go. All I'm just saying is you got to do what you feel is right in the situation you're in when you're there. So that's making me hope that once Jennifer finally gets back, just along with all the rest of the Pierce family, that she'll realize that. And well, let's hope that Lynn will finally start to get her sense back on track. Because let's face it, at the end, where everyone else was disappearing, all except for Black Lightning Jennifer, our Jennifer, who didn't seem to be affected by that way, but this was all going on in her mind, so I don't know on that end. But this scene right here...
Oh my god.
Yes, Black Lightning saw that wave coming, but he was teleported away. And as you all know, if you saw part 3 of Crisis on Infinite Earth yet, you know what happened. But hopefully by doing this, by going and doing this crisis that he's in now, and when he returns to being reunited with his family, he'll let his family know, and hopefully this will fill them, along with Anissa, back up with hope and knowing that we can still do this. We can still find a way to win and not try to break some boundaries that we don't need to break. But definitely, guys, love that episode and loved everything else for this that tied in with the Crisis on Infinite Earth. And man, I can't wait to see what comes next for it. But until then, guys, I'm going to leave it all at that. And if you enjoy my videos, all you got to do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified of when I make more videos. And until then, MegaGeekMixer signing out. Bye!